Welcome. Thank you. How may I help you? Well, I came for the job interview. Do you think you can do it? Well, that's why I applied. So you are here for the job, right? Yes, please. Well, you need to make an initial deposit of 6,000 Ghana cedis before we can even consider you for employment. 6,000 cedis? Really? May I ask why? You may. Why? Well, our company has a strict policy against adopted people. But I'm not adopted. Well, it says here that your name is Step Hen and it runs through your entire CV. No. That's just my name and it's pronounced as Stephen with a V. Well, I'm sorry, rules are rules. If you are not a biological hen, we can't employ you. So let me get this straight. If I pay the 600 Ghana cedis, 6,000 cedis? Yes, the 6,000 Ghana cedis. Do I have a shot at it? Do you intend on killing someone? No. I'm not talking about someone. I'm talking about the job. I'm asking if I would have the opportunity to be employed. And again, you also need 12 years of working experience. And from what I'm seeing here, you only just got out of school. Yes, I know I need the experience. That's why I'm applying for the job. Can I ask a question? Sure. I'm not getting the job because of my name, right? Exactly. We only deal with biological hens here.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Theyo from Fino Concepts. Now in this video, we are going to talk about 5 tips to shooting clone videos, just like what you saw in the intro. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so tip number 1 is getting the background right. I'll suggest you shoot with a static background just like what I have in here. There's nothing moving in the background, so there are no birds, animals or anything like that crossing me. And it makes it a lot easier when you are editing the final video, obviously. But if you are to shoot this kind of videos outside, make sure that you have the blurred enough background. So I would recommend you shoot with some sort of telephoto lens with at least f2.8 being the widest aperture. So in that case, you have that much blurry background, and if you should put both clips all together, you are not going to see that weird movement when a subject is moving from one face to the other. Now I say use a telephoto lens because if you shoot with a wide lens like 35mm f1.8, although it looks cool, but because it is wide, it has so many subjects in the background, which is going to affect the actual video when you are editing it. But with a telephoto, it's much more zoomed in, so like 70 to 200 should be just fine. Alright, so tip number 2 is the sound quality. So the idea here is to have similar sound setup for both talents. In my case, I use a lapel mic, and as you can see in these 2 shots, you notice that I have it clipped to my shirt right here. So the sound is going to be about the same because I use the exact same lapel mic in both instances. But if you are to use something like a shotgun microphone, you have to make sure that it is at least as close to the subject as possible so that the sound quality is always going to be crisp. Other than that, one is going to sound more nicer or richer than the other, which is not good for the video. Another thing you can do to spice up the audio is change up the sound of one talent from the other. So you can have one with a shallow voice and the other one with a very deep voice. Or you can even do that, if you don't do it in person, obviously, you can do it with a software. You can make one robotic sort of style, just to make it a little bit different from each other. But I believe the most important version of this sound is to have overlapping sounds. So as you can see in this video right here, I have one person talking, then the other person interrupts.
Let me get this straight. If I pay the 600 Ghana cedis, 6,000 cedis? Yes, the 6,000 Ghana cedis. Do I have a shot at it?
So it makes it feel more engaging that way, rather than waiting for one person to finish, then the other continues. It's a bit too staged in that form. So tip number 3 is to have a change of clothes or outfits. I feel this is self-explanatory. Now in this video I have here, you can see one talent has white on and the other has black on, and this makes it a lot easier for the audience to distinguish who is speaking and who is listening at every point in time. I also took it a step further by getting a haircut in the other one. So in the first shot I didn't have the haircut. You can see how bushy it is. And in the second shot, I had to go get a haircut, come back and record the second part. Now, obviously, you can go over the top by adding in a hat, a complete change of wardrobe for your setup. Tip number 4 is getting a secondary camera. Now the first reason for this is if you shoot with different angles, it allows you to be able to cut scenes from one to the other, and it makes it a lot more engaging. The second reason is sometimes you may have overlapping videos, so one may stretch the hand over the other, which is not good for a single shot. So in that case, you have to cut to the one speaking and zoom in on the face, and that is going to make it a lot more interesting. And the third reason is because it actually looks cool to do it that way. And tip number 5 is to have a constant lighting for both talent or both scenes. So in my case here, I had a specific camera settings. I have a nice blurry background. The ISO level for both scenes were exactly the same. And I also made sure that the light power, if it is 15%, it is 15% throughout. Even though I had to go outside and come back later, I still made sure it was still 15%. Now, unfortunately for me, one was shot during the day and the other one was in the night because of the haircuts, obviously. So what I had to do is, again, in Premiere Pro, I had to tone down the exposure of one just to compensate with the other. All right, so those are 5 tips, but I have one more. Let's call it a bonus tip, and that is eye level. So if you are fortunate enough to have a friend with you at the time of shooting, what you can do is have your friend sitting at where your clone is going to be, and in that case you can look directly in the eyes of your friend whilst you are having that conversation. It makes it a lot easier when you switch up the scene. That way you can have a constant eye level with your clone or whatever subject is going to be in the next scene. Speaking of friends, if you do have them around at the time of shooting, have them sitting at a place that you can shoot over their shoulder with the secondary camera. And in doing so, make sure that they are wearing the same clothes as the second talent is going to be in. That way you don't have a red shirt in the over the shoulder shot. Then in the actual video you will have your talent wearing white. It wouldn't make sense. So bear that in mind. Anyway, that's about it. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video in the comment section below. I'm eager to find out what kind of content you guys are also interested in. Also, the breakdown of this whole editing process is going to be on the Phenomenal Concept channel, which I'll have it linked in the description below. I'm dropping the video exactly the same time I'm dropping this, so be sure to check out the first link in the description below. Anyway, again, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel and other channels which I have them linked below. And as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theyo from Phenomenal Concept, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.